This is the Washington Times front page for Monday, November 17th, 2025. Thanks for starting your week with us. I'm George Gerbo. As judges move to order better conditions at U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement's facilities, the agency is arguing that issuing a toothbrush to every detainee is too dangerous. Stephen Dinan reports ICE has told courts that toothbrushes can be easily converted into weapons. ICE detention standards for long-term facilities require the issuance of toothbrushes, but the agency has resisted issuing them at processing facilities, which are used for short-term holds. Migrants who have passed through ICE's Broadview facility in Chicagoland say they were denied access to attorneys and stuck in overcrowded and cold cells without access to mattresses, soap, water, showers, or new clothes. Many locals in vacation destinations such as Paris and Madrid have protested the annual waves of global tourists amid concerns that local economies cater too much to big spending visitors. Liam Griffin and Eric Lyman report earlier this year, locals in Barcelona drenched groups of tourists with water guns and chanted that they wanted their city back. Residents blame tourism for skyrocketing rents, congestion, and the erosion of the city's identity. Similar conflicts were reported in Paris and Venice. No major anti-tourism clashes were reported in Madrid over the weekend, despite an influx of thousands of American tourists who descended on the city for the Washington Commanders-Miami Dolphins NFL game. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says the United States must defend persecuted Christians in Nigeria and other parts of the world. Bill Gertz reports the Defense Secretary said it's important to speak out against the persecution of Christians. President Trump raised the issue of indiscriminate killings of Christians in Nigeria on social media earlier this month. He threatened to halt all aid and warned that the U.S. military could go into Nigeria to target Islamic terrorists. Ongoing U.S. Navy strikes in the Caribbean and talk of an American invasion have Venezuelans on edge. Frederick Pugley reports President Trump again ratcheted up pressure on the Nicolas Maduro-led Venezuelan government, which is seen as illegitimate by Washington and across much of the West. He told reporters he had consulted with military advisors on the next step in the escalating conflict between Venezuela and the U.S. For months, the U.S. Navy has been destroying boats off the Venezuelan coast that the Trump administration says are carrying drugs. The simmering conflict has a defiant Maduro engaging in fiery anti-American rhetoric, calling on friends for help and mobilizing his troops in the capital of Caracas. And finally, Susan Ferricchio has another look into a trove of files released last week related to disgraced financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The House Oversight and Government Reform Committee released the files. None of the emails show Epstein's high-profile associates questioning him about his conviction or the mounting evidence of sexual abuse. Instead, Epstein continued to be sought for his counsel, advice, and connections to influential people. Find all today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find us on social media at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.